What's good, guys? We're back at it again with another video. And today, as you see from the title, we're going to be talking about picking a situation, picking a school. First, we're going to touch on, high school, whether I should transfer from a small high school to a big high school. Then we're going to touch on the college aspect, right? So for the biggest decision of your life up to that point, where am I going to spend the next 4 years academically and on the court? Let's just touch on the high school aspect first, right? So for me, you guys, we know my background. I've said it a couple times before. I went to Kell High School in Georgia, right? And at the time I was at Kell, it was a football school through and through. We had multiple NFL players come through there. They'd gone to, I think my year, they went to, or the year before me, they went to like the Elite Eight. So they were having success on the football field as well. So all of the football games were usually packed out, things like that. But on the other hand, basketball was on the back burner, right? So before me, I want to say it was one, but it might be two D1 players that were before me. But the furthest that we had gone in the state playoffs was maybe first round. No, it was first round. That was the furthest that any team in Kell basketball team had ever gone. So obviously it was a big football school. Now, I want to say now, before we move on, now, football program might not want to hear this, but now it's more of a basketball school, right? So we just had Scoop, the youngest American basketball player in history to go pro. He's on G League. He actually just had his first G League game. We got to do a breakdown on that. But he was hooping, you know what I'm saying? And when he was at Kell, and even now, we're still having success getting placed in bigger tournaments. I want to say it's more of a football school now. And not to mention, we have some basketball players starting to get recruited now out of Kell. So that's pretty big time. But back when I was there, you know what I'm saying? I was still struggling with something that you guys are struggling with. Okay, do I stay here at the smaller school, not really get all this exposure, things like that? Or do I make that move to that bigger school? And at the time, the bigger school that I was thinking about going to was Wheeler. All right, I've said this before, but my parents had instilled in me from the jump, okay, once you commit to somewhere, something like that, you have to stay. Like, you can't just leave, you can't just quit. But let me give you a little bit more background into why I was, struggling with that decision and why I wanted to come with that and why I needed a video like this at the time, right? So for me, this is around sophomore, junior year. This is around the time where in the state of Georgia, I start to get a little buzz behind my name, right? So I start to play with Game Elite. I'm going to this tournament. I'm going to that tournament. I get invited to the Elite Preview. I'm playing in this camp. I'm playing in that camp. I'm going everywhere. I'm going to elite camps at colleges. I'm doing this, and that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to get a little buzz behind me. And with that buzz, you know what I'm saying, come the other high schools, hitting me up, things like that, especially after I started getting my first couple offers. I got a couple schools coming to me like, B, what you doing for this next year? I'm getting DMs on Twitter. People would just stop me after a game, when my coach isn't next to me or something like that. What you think about doing this next year? You wanna, you think you're gonna stay at Kell? You wanna go here? You wanna do that? And for me, that was a struggle because at the time they had me ranked the 16th ranked player in the state, or it was 17. Yeah, it was 17, right? And in the 2017 Georgia class, this is the class with Wendell Carter, Colin Sexton, Chuma Okeke, MJ Walker. I'm talking about pros, and everyone above me, the 16 players above me, were all high major commits, right? So at the time, in my head, and I had one high major offer, but in my head, I'm like, okay, I need that extra push. Where can I get that extra push? Because right now, I'm really a mid-major player who's a fringe high major. High majors are hesitant to throw that offer yet. What can I do to, get over the edge, right? So I'm going back and forth in my head. I'm coming to my parents. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get high major. I need to make this move. I need to do this, and that. Which is where, luckily for me, my parents had me, think about the pros and cons of it, which is why I'm coming to you guys with this video. So when you DM me, should I make this move from the small school to the big school? You have to think about things like this, right? So first and foremost, with the small school, I'll say this. I've said it before. If you can play the game of basketball at an extremely high level, coaches will come to find you. Like, I don't care what. Like, I don't care where you're playing, things like that. Granted, there are situations where kids are really like out there in the middle of nowhere and nobody can get out there to watch them. But nowadays in social media, with the accessibility of it, how you can just post a clip and go viral in a minute, like, you can stay at your small school and they will come find you, but you also have to do your due diligence. You can't just play your high school games and think that's okay. They're just gonna come. No, like what I was doing, I stayed. So obviously I did stay. But when I stayed, I was going to all the camps I could. I'm playing against all the top talent, and I'm competing against them. I'm not backing down. And here's another thing. When I'm going to these camps, bro, I'm not dropping 30. I'm not dropping 20. Shoot, I'm not dropping 15. I'm just locking up and I'm giving great effort. I got ranked. I got named one of the top 10 players in the elite preview. And I swear I didn't have a game over 10 points. I was just blocking shots, rebounding, everything. And because of that, I got enough exposure to get me a couple more offers. So which is why I'm saying if you stay at that small school, you can't just play there. You also have to do other things. There, you know what I'm saying? You can't just stay there. But on the, going to a bigger high school part, I understand, yeah, you get the exposure, you get the iron sharpens iron. Because even for me, yeah, my high school teammates were good. I'm not gonna say they're bad. They were good, but there would be times I coached through practice. But going to a school like Wheeler, in the year that I was thinking about going there, I think EJ was there, Mello, who ended up going to Arizona State, Big. If you know, you from Georgia, Bucket. You know what I'm saying? Mello was Bucket, who was a big, and then EJ, who was a 5-star. So there was going to be none. I mean, I was already working out against a couple of them from Game Elite, because that's where Game Elite was out of. I'm like, okay, I can just go there. Like, I get to play against them every day. They got high major schools coming to see them. They can come see me, right? So this is the thought process I'm having. Like, I can just go there. But one thing I started to think about after I made the pros and cons list is, yeah, I can go there, but let's be realistic. You have a, top 100 big who's already there. You have a 5-star who's a year behind me, who's probably, let's be honest, probably a little bit more talented. So even if I was, killing, giving my best effort, even for because there are politics in it, more than, I'm probably going to be the third big. So I had to weigh those options. Okay, I can stay at my little small school and be the main attraction, the dude, or I can go to this bigger school and I probably won't get as much playing time or that much, so I can get the exposure, but am I really going to get it? Because am I going to get on the court? This is something that you guys have to think about when you want to transfer from your small school to a big school. Yeah, you get the exposure, you get to play against top talent, but are you going to get the same amount of minutes that you got at your old school? Are you even going to get a chance, to show what you can do? Which kind of leads into college, making that decision, right? Especially, like I've said, so I was a fringe high major player. June, going into my senior year, I broke my foot when I had Clemson, Georgetown, all these high majors coming to see me in July. So in my head, it's like, dang, all right. So I can't wait, even though I had a lot of people telling me, yeah, wait till you come back, play your senior season, this, and that. Luckily, I didn't wait, because I ended up breaking it again my first game of my senior year. But at the time when I did that, I'm like, okay, we got to, because I had 17 offers at the time. So I'm like, okay, I have enough offers. I need to make a decision, because I just broke my foot. I don't want anybody to take their offer away from me. So I'm making a decision to go mid-major or high major, right? Which kind of mirrors the same decision. Stay at a small school, big school. So I'm trying to do the same pros and cons list. I'm like, okay. And we'll just, because it was between Gulf Coast, because my last 3 was Florida Gulf Coast, UAB, and Mississippi State. And that's who I was thinking about. So, and we'll be real, UAB, at the time, I wasn't a big Under Armour fan, so they were probably third. So it's really between Gulf Coast, Mississippi State. So in my head, this is what I'm going through. In my head, literally, I'm like, okay, you go to Gulf Coast, they don't have a football team, they're the main attraction. You know what I'm saying? They're telling you they need you. Keep that in mind. They're telling you they need you. They don't want you. They're telling me that they need me. I go on my visit. They have everything, everybody's minutes for the next year lined up, where they think how many minutes I'm going to play. They say I can come in, make an immediate impact. They need me to win the tournament, to win the conference tournament, all that. They need me, right? I took a visit to Mississippi State, not an official, I took an unofficial. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Howland's office, He's telling me I can be, what did he say? He told me, I could be the new Paul Millsap, this, and that. I'm telling you, he told me that while I'm sitting in his office. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, dang, Ben Howland just said that. He was at UCLA, he coached Kevin Love, I'm like, dang, he just said that. But then I'm looking around, and I'm like, okay, but yeah, I get the exposure, yeah, I get all that. But let's be honest, I'm a 3-star. I'm really a 3-star. I hear what he's saying, and they're saying, yeah, we really want you. We really want you. But yeah, I'm a 3-star, da 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 da. Let's be real. At some point, they're a high major school. They're gonna get 4 stars. They're gonna get 5 stars. They're probably gonna over recruit you at some point. So that's what I'm thinking about. Do I go to this, mid-major where I have a chance to get more minutes, things like that, or do I go to a high major, go for the blue check, go for all that? And what it came down to, why I say keep it in mind, Gulf Coast needed me. Mississippi State wanted me. So when you guys are making these decisions, whether it be in high school or college, go where you're needed, not where you're wanted. Because if you're just wanted, you know what I'm saying, that's just something extra. They just wanted you just to have you, just because you're like kind of extra. Okay, if we need you to play from here and there, okay, we have our guys already, but just to have you there just in case, right? Gulf Coast, they're telling me, no, we need you. If we want to win, we want to be successful, we need you on this team, which was other than the beach. That was the selling point for me. That was the selling point. So when you guys make these decisions, you know what I'm saying, picking a situation, high school or college, you guys have to go somewhere where you're needed. And the biggest thing of all is getting on that court. I don't care if you can be at Kentucky. You can be at Kentucky. You can have blue check. You can have 50,000 on Instagram. And there are a lot of guys 5 stars who end up doing this. You go to Kentucky, you go to Duke, you get the blue check, you get all that, da da da, you famous, da 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 da. But all of a sudden you get lost on the bench, and you think you're coming in a starter, and all of a sudden you're 9th, 8th, 9th man off the bench when you could have went to a little smaller school. Still probably would have been a high major, but just maybe in like a Big East or something like that, quote unquote high major, because Big East isn't Power 5 or whatever. But you could have went there, but you decided to go to a big school, and all of a sudden you're 8th, 9th man on the bench, which is why you're starting to see all these 5 stars transfer schools. Especially they had a couple transfer out of Kentucky, North Carolina over the last couple of years, because that's what happens. You choose the name over the game. You can't do that. Wherever you can get on the court, where you need to be at. I don't care. You're in high school. Oh, they got this, this, and that. Where are you gonna play? College. Oh, I want to go here. I want to play on national TV Where are you going to get on the court at? That's the most important thing. That's the only thing you need to think about. Like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Appreciate you guys watching. You want the one-on-one instruction to help improve your game, as well as the subscriber breakdowns that get posted on the channel, as well as with all these, like you see Dillingham right there. Hit the website, Patreon for day-to-day story times, things like that. Like I said, appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys next time with the next video.